All right, so I took a wash rag. You can see that's a little dusty from last night, but took a wash rag. We washed the side down. Now I could spray it all down with the hose. The problem with that is you get water in these cracks and stuff, and then when you go to buff it off, the buffer pulls that water out and it smears everything, and yeah. So we just wash it off with a rag. I did this side, so that side's gonna dry while we buff out the hood. So we got our applicator. It's just standard applicator that it comes with, nothing special. Same way you'd put on wax, overlapping circles. But probably a little heavier on the coat. Trying to stay away from the fender because I already did that and waxed it. So we are going to buff it and put a coat of wax on it as well. Do make sure you shake this stuff good if you're using this stuff. This is that part number 101, and it's Duragloss. Obviously, if you don't have ape arms like me, you're going to need a stool. I'm going to need a stool when we go to buff it anyway, so. I'll grab one now, right? I'm just putting a little bit like that on there at a time. This is a paint cleaner as well. So we're taking out all the stuff that's stuck in the clear coat. Does a good job of getting some of the baked in bugs off. If you got sap or something like that, it's not going to take that off, but don't want to use this stuff in direct sunlight. That won't work out well for you. I'm not going to do this fender until I'm done with the hood, just because I'm going to be leaning on the damn. I'll probably end up leaning on the fender a little bit, so. Yeah, I'm going to see how it works on this brush guard too, or on the, I'm going to see how it works on this bug guard too. You gotta watch your edges and stuff when you're buffing that off. So we allow that to dry for a few minutes so it hazes. You'll kind of be able to see it. Most of this is pretty close to ready already, but you can see the haze. Not that it wasn't hazy before, but yeah. Gotta make sure you got an even application. When you're taking it off with a buffer like I am, it'll kind of spread it around anyway, but we so this is our buffer we're using, 3-inch. I need to clean that pad, but I don't, I know they make the bigger buffers, but with all the different contours on these things, it's pretty damn hard to use one of those buffers to get in there and really do an effective job. I've seen some buffing jobs where, yeah, it's nice and shiny here. It's nice and shiny here. That transition, not so much, because they're just going up and over it. So that corner is really nice and shiny, but none of that side edge is. So I will use this little 3-inch buffer. And it's getting a little glaze in it. I don't have a deglazing cleaning tool for this. So what we'll do is we got our wrench for it. Make sure we're spinning this way. So you want to be at an angle that way. You go this way, it's going to shoot it out of your hand or it's going to tear the pad up. So what you're doing is just breaking up the fiber that's in there. That compound starts getting little glazes in there, hard spots. Dries up a little bit. Breaks all that up. Makes you nice and soft again. A couple minutes we'll take this off. Probably going to be dangerous. This is probably going to be dangerous, but I'm going to take it off with the... Try to one-hand this. Low speed. Especially on a bug gird like this. Lots of passes. Yeah, she'll shine too. What the fuck are they barking at now? Fuck, the window got dirty yesterday. Let's see what the dog's barking at. Oh, barking at. For fuck's sake. She doesn't know. Don't worry about my mess in here. It's a fucking mess. Well, look at that fucking bug deflector. You're gonna have all these little fibers and shit from the buffing pad, especially when they're new. But that's okay, you go back and towel those off. So work on the hood a little bit. Now this isn't, we're not buffing to remove scratches. It's not going to do any of that. We're just taking oxidation off and polishing, cleaning up the clear coat. So don't think any of your scratches are going to disappear with this stuff. They will, they might appear to disappear. And maybe some real light marking will, but an actual scratch is not going to disappear with this stuff. So now you can see she's getting some shine to her compared to this over here, or compared to this back here. See, that's all low gloss, kind of matte. So go ahead, finish buffing this out, get on to the next section. All right, there's your buffed out hood. You can definitely see some reflection on that thing now. All right, so now you can see we got our repair in there, and it doesn't match the rest of the truck. It's got to cure a little bit. I don't know what the hell happened right there. You see that spot? I don't know what happened there. And then we got to wet sand it out to give it that shine. Obviously Katie has to drive it this week. I did find a hubcap too, but I'm waiting for it to show up. She's got to drive it this week, so for a couple of weeks, then we'll wash it down, clean it real good, and then wet sand all that. Hopefully bring out the luster in it. Hopefully. Otherwise, we're gonna change oil on it later and shit like that, but we don't want to do anything. We don't want to put anything on that for right now. We'll just let her be for right now. So it breathes, it cures, it hardens, it does all that stuff that it needs to do. And then we'll have a little time to get that tailgate ready for it as well, and do everything at the same time. So yeah, it looks a little bit better. Like I said, it's not a professional job, but I think once we wet sand it out, it'll look pretty good. There'll be some dings and nicks and scratches and shit in there, and it's not a perfect. You can see there's a little bit of blemish in that. Whatever. Frankly, I don't give a fuck. It looks way better than it did, so yeah. We're gonna go take a walk here this morning. We gotta go check some fence. I got the fence tester. With the rain and the winds we had yesterday, I have a calf out right now, which isn't a huge deal. He's a little bastard anyway, but I just want to go check fences and make sure our fencer's working and all that happy jazz. I don't need cows out. A calf out isn't a fucking shocker at all. Climb through the barbed wire, because not all the barbed wire has electric on it yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. I swear to God, we'll get there. He came from down here, so I'm guessing, little bastard, go from over there. Maybe he didn't come. Yeah, he came from down here. He was eating in that. We'll go see if he came from down this way. We got the rain that we got just kind of greened things up a little bit. It's amazing. Still kind of yellow, but it's not fucking burned off brown though, so that's good. I'm sure the wind's making all kinds of fucking noise for you, but whatever. Maybe I need to get one of those fancy microphones with the little fucking fuzzy thing on the fucker. Oh yeah, the river runs through it now. Look at that shit down there. Yeah. Yep. Calf tracks. So he definitely came from down here. The rain would have washed it out otherwise. So came both ways. But they can duck under in some of these spots. I know they can, so I expected that. They can go back in and duck under too. To go back in. Kind of see where we're hitting here. Boy, that's soft, isn't it? I don't know if you can see that. We're hitting at 4,600 volts. follow his tracks a little bit if I can see him, and we'll go see where he got out. But look at that shit. She filled right back up, boys. Remember how that was all fucking dry and... Well, there you go. It doesn't take much out here in the swamp. Brought it right back up. So that's alright. We'll still be able to do what we're doing. Running the excavator and that kind of shit, but... Still following along the tracks. We're calf tracking. And they've definitely been in here. You see where they're starting to thin out some of the grasses and stuff in a couple areas. And that's alright. Still got tracks. Boy, he was working for it. He must have came from a long ways back, huh? I wonder if we're touching on this pine tree down here. That might explain some of it. Yeah, he's still... He came from way back there is what happened. I thought they could get out on that corner. Probably can. Oh yeah. A little branch touching there. Get off there. Rest of it looks like it's okay. We're gonna test it though, because he did come all the way back here. From all the way back here. Easier to see when it's hitting in the shade. There we go. Yeah, we're still banging there, so that's good. I might try to get back here this afternoon and do some more excavator work, but you can see we're folded back up. Nothing wrong with that. It's kind of what I was going for here, especially for future reference. So just keep those things in mind. I don't know how much we'll be doing with digging right now until this water dissipates, because it'll dissipate pretty quickly. But we got plenty of trees to knock over and that kind of shit. Cattle have definitely been back in here. Look at that stuff. You see, they've been mowing in here. And starting to see where they've been thinning in here and that kind of stuff. There's also, that's an Argo trail right there a little bit, but yeah, you can definitely tell that they've been out here. That's good. Getting some feed. Alright, well, went and walked and checked all the electric fence. Everything's working good there. I think calf just ducked under. No big deal. We went and checked the stuff down on the south end. It's a beautiful day out. So I think I'm gonna hold off on doing the rest of the maintenance on this until tonight. I gotta do a service on it and check out that tire, but we'll do that later. Gee, dirty. You'll notice I buffed this out. I'm gonna kind of let this go a little bit. Fucking, we gotta let that paint cure anyway, and then wet sand it out. So Hopefully when we wet sand it out, the gloss will come out of it. Because you can see right now that kind of that fucking matte semi-gloss finish. We clear coated it, so hopefully we get a little wet sanding on it. We should be good to go. I just gotta dig around, find my 1,000 grit, 1,500 grit, whatever I need to get. So we'll make her work. So we're gonna go find something else to do, and I'll bring it back here in a little bit. Well, happy Sunday. Finally got Katie's truck out of here. Swept the floor out a little bit. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of mess to clean up in the back, but whatever. We're gonna stick the flail chopper right there. That way we can start fucking around with that, because we ain't too far off. Couple, 3-4 weeks probably. 3 weeks. So we gotta get that flail chopper fucking fixed up. We gotta get the barge box fixed up. We gotta get a lot of shit done. So let's go get the tractor and get that flail chopper in here. And I'll kind of give you the rundown, recap of, if you remember last year when we picked that up, it needs some work, but we're gonna go through it all. Damn it. Fucking grasshopper. Windy fuck today too. We might go out in the swamp yet this afternoon and jump on the excavator and at least try to get the trail blazed through there and get the excavator out. All that other stuff. We gotta cut some hay tomorrow. It's a new to me property. The guy wants it cut, so. Wasn't cut last year. Because of the drought, they said, so. So we're gonna see about that, but we're gonna stick that flail chopper in there and then we'll back over to the hay bine and get that hooked up. Let's see what happens. Let's get to it. All right, let's go over the, we'll go over the basics on this because I'm sure there's going to be more that we got to get into. But we got to start out, get the U-joints all, make sure they're all free. I know this pin is stuck. So we're going to get some penetrating oil and we're going to spray that shit down right now. Look at that fucker's full of water. Son of a bitch. Which it has been before, because that's why it's split. Freezes and splits. That jack's got to come off there. I might put it in a different spot, but it doesn't work there. You can see with the PTO shaft the way it is. It's just in the fucking way. I don't know what they were thinking there. That bracket I'm not too worried about, but it doesn't need to be there. Along with this fucking debauchery, because what they were doing is they were trying to put a hydraulic open on it. I don't even know that it even fucking worked to do it that way. For right now, I don't plan on putting a cylinder on it. You can pin a cylinder on there, a lift cylinder on it. I don't plan on doing that just because I want to make sure everything works first, and then we'll worry about getting fancy with it. But we gotta change oil in the gearbox. We're probably gonna have to put a belt on it. I might run that one just for test run purposes, but we'll have to measure it and get a belt for it, so we have a backup. The knives in it got to come out, be sharpened, and I gotta look in the manual. I think you can take the knives out and everything apart through these two openings, but I might just take this rear panel off. That rear panel will make it a lot easier to get to. The biggest problem is this bearing in here. This bearing has failed. I shouldn't say the bearings failed. The housing failed that it's in. And you see I broke the bolts off trying to take it apart. So we gotta address that issue. These are our knives. They're worn as hell. I've had issues trying to find new knives for this thing. They're out there, but they're hard as fuck to find, and they're expensive as shit, so we're either going to be doing some hard facing on there and then sharpening the damn thing, or something like that. But we got to fix the flighting on the auger. You can see she's a little tweaked, so we'll have to address that. I think that bearing down there needs a replacement too, probably both of them. And then we got to free up the crank and all that shit. If we get underneath here where the flails are, you can see the wire wrapped around that. So we got to cut that out, twine wrapped around that. And then I haven't decided what I'm doing with these flails yet. I have a few. There's a few on here that are mismatched. You can see that green one. And then there's one down on the end there. Those are mismatched. They're not the same length, which kind of fuckers the whole program. So they should be more square. They should be, you know, they shouldn't be pointed like that. But we either got to replace them all with the right ones, or we got to fucking let her buck with what we got. But these things are so blunted over and not even fucking close to sharp anymore. I don't know if that's going to work at all, so we'll figure that out here as we go. We got to get it cleaned up and all that shit. We got to free up these chains, make sure they're okay. It looks like somebody replaced that bearing already. I don't know if that needs some shims in there or what the fuck we're gonna do there. Maybe she just floats around, but then we gotta build a shield for it because this is on your inboard side. You don't want corn stalks and hay and shit get wrapped up in there and throwing the fucking chain off. So, and then all these side covers are missing when I got it, so that side cover's got to be built, and this side cover's got to be built. So that'll be fucking fun, huh? Plenty of work to do on this thing, guys. It's not all gonna happen in one day, I can tell you that. So stick around, we got a lot of fucking work to do as always.